mechanism, two-channel mechanism to communicate with the government, to be recognized from the government side as the eligible representative, and to be seen from the local NGOs as one who could represent their interest towards government. I mean, it was all open. It was on our website. The call for proposal was open, was in the newspaper, was on the government website. We had the list of criteria. We had the list of selected NGOs. We had the list of the commission. It was 7 of us in the selection board, actually. From the donor, consisted of donors, at that time, donors, relevant ministries, and it was Deputy Prime Minister office. It was funded, these organizations were given a small grants for their work, for being the representatives, in order to establish this mechanism and to involve other in the communication with and cooperation with the government. But basically, this was it. Since we still don't have the programmatic budget, the Serbia budget is still the line budget, and there's some piloting in the 5 line ministries. One of them is the Ministry of Health, who's dealing very much with the civil society organizations and could be followed on the funds dedicated to the programs and activities to the civil society organizations. According to it, the very important thing actually was generated from this mechanism. In 2007, these 7 NGOs representing the network of more than 650 NGOs on the meeting with the DPM for European integration at that time, offered their expertise in assistance for the establishing and creation of the Office for Cooperation with Civil Society, basically for governmental office dealing exclusively with civil society organizations, all the issues relevant to it, specifically to the transparent budgeting and the process of monitoring and evaluation. Ever since 2007, our team and other, especially Ministry of Public Administration and Serbian European Integration Office, together with the Prime Minister's Office, is dealing with this one. And I could say that we are definitely just a step ahead to form this office for civil society organization. And it was.
When?
We've been waiting for that so long, and I just, before coming here, I just had a huge conversation with the Prime Minister office because, yes, because it's in their hand now, but it's never, I mean, it's a priority, but never such a priority as telecom or some flooded areas in Serbia, which is reasonable. So basically, we're expecting any day or any governmental session for the adoption of the relevant papers and bylaws for the establishment of such office. So basically, this office hopefully should be starting point for the further support to the civil society organization. From our perspective, a huge job has been done, definitely, and we could see the progress, following all these obstacles and progress is made in little steps. In terms of involvement of civil society organizations in the decision-making process, I think a lot has been done. We also managed to include human rights organization who traditionally was monitoring the work of the government, never involving in such a processes as such, into the work of the government let's say, on the daily basis. On the other hand, I personally think that we still need to work on the raising awareness of public administration, of the necessity of the involvement and the huge influence that could be done from the civil society organizations. So we put all the hopes in the future office for cooperation with civil society organization in that terms. Yeah, we just recently came from Croatia, so people from Croatia know it the best. Their office for cooperation with civil society organization is actually the best example of sustainable mechanism of cooperation and communication, and as such is not recognized at the level of member states as such. So basically, Croatian model is very good, and it gives us it could give us the retrospective of the processes and how it went from the very beginning when it was created, and what was the diseases they went through in the process of establishing transparent, first and above all, the transparent mechanism of support of civil society organizations, knowing that bilateral support that they don't have any longer, and it's still relevant for the Serbia side, is not going to be after 2015, and we have to rely on the budget and the EU funds that comes from IPA. So we have to. So this is the direction that we have to think on. This assessment was done by our team, actually by the experts on behalf of our team, and used as the argumentation for the establishment of the Office for Cooperation. All the other relevant documents you can find on our website, previous website, which is www.prsp, as an acronym for Poverty Reduction Strategy Paper, .sr.gov.u. We have a mandate which is a bit broader, and it's a social inclusion, as I said at the beginning, social inclusion and poverty reduction. So this team is in charge of basically introduction of social inclusion European agenda, besides the issues of poverty reduction.
Innovative way of thinking. It's something which is really important when we are thinking about different tools related to citizen participation or civil society organization participation as well. So what is the beauty in that term, and in our work when we are trying to organize the participatory way of doing, is that we really can be very creative and very innovative all the time. So you don't have like 10 or 20 different tools that you can use, and that's it. So it's always a huge space to organize it and to think completely in an innovative way, and to organize some new and to try new activities, and to try to be a more efficient and more related and in more in relation with other people. So all different manuals and all different code of practices and all different knowledges might actually be a good ground for all of you just to expand your way of thinking, how you can organize that kind of activities. So what we are going to present you now is just a brief presentation of different tools that you can find in this code of practice. And as I said, this is not a recipe for how you will do. This is really just to open your mind and your way of thinking, how it might be organized. So some of the recommendations from the documents, and you will find that in this printed material and also on the website. You have really like a clear matrix which can help you to organize different activities related to different processes, and a little bit explained how you can organize it, and it will be easier for you if, of course, you're using that kind of instructions. But just to see, for example, some recommendations if we are talking about the agenda setting. You will see that what they are proposing is the role of NGOs and the role of public authorities and the space where you can use actually the processes. But what the more important is to emphasize actually that during the agenda setting, role of the NGOs is in advocating, information and awareness building, expertise and advice, innovation, service provision, and all of these aspects we already listed yesterday through our work. If we're talking about the tools, you remember that we just mentioned that we have like 3 levels of participation, possible level of participation, information level, then consultation, dialogue, and partnership level. Within each of these, some of the tools are, of course, are different. On the information level, if we are talking about this agenda setting, access to information and sharing the information is crucial, and as a opportunity actually for the people to be, first of all, involved, or for the organization to be informed about different processes, and then as opportunity to build on that some next steps and to organize different kinds of activities. If you're talking about the dialogue, you have several, like hearings and public forums, citizens forums, and forming the councils or some kind of stakeholders group, working groups who can help you directly to have a direct contact with civil society organizations, or if you're talking about how civil society organizations can organize their work with the citizens, and how you can involve the people actually in some more direct way in your activities. Through this document, they defined also like a working group or committees as a partnership tools that you can work together actually on some issues, and during the different phases that we are mentioning here. If we are talking about the drafting, what we didn't mention maybe enough yesterday when we started to list and to brainstorm about different tools are all of these mechanisms, which means like a different organization of different advisory boards, different working groups, different stakeholders committees, and that kind of stuff. And this is something that you can pay attention also, especially if we are talking about this higher level of participation of different stakeholders. In all of these phases in decision-making processes, the tools and mechanisms that you can use are more or less similar. What is important to have in mind actually is when you organize the participatory activities, the first question that you need to raise is why I would like to organize, why I would like to involve organizations or other people in different processes. So this is the first question, and after that, what will be the impact, what we are expecting from that. So those two questions actually will help you to organize, to find the right way to organize participatory activities, and on the other side, to think about that, how you will use all this information and what will be the best way actually to gain, to force people and to motivate people because you will have opportunity also to explain them the purpose of their involvement in different activities. From that position, then, with all of your innovative approaches and with all of your creativity, you can think about the right way. The second, of course, important question is, are the resources. So what kind of resources is available for you in terms of your resources of your organization, and what is actually the realistic that you can organize. Sometimes we are very ambitious and we would like to organize it very broadly, the participatory processes, and to involve different mechanisms and to involve different people, but sometimes this is absolutely impossible. So focus on the purpose of the activities. It's something that you should have in mind, and then if you think about the focus of your activities and the resources, those two informations will help you to organize it in a most appropriate way. Sometimes it's better to have some more limited activities than to have too ambitious activities if you can't organize it in a quality way. So it's better to have it limited than to have like a very, very broad, and then to don't have